Hello and welcome to today's episode. In this podcast, we're going to talk about something you probably use every single day: apps on your phone. Social media, games, shopping platforms, video apps, they're all designed to keep you coming back. But why is it so hard to stop scrolling, stop watching, or stop checking your phone? Today's topic is called the Dopamine Economy: Why Apps Are Addictive. By the end of this episode, you'll understand what dopamine is, how apps use it, and what you can do to take back control of your attention. Let's start with a simple question. Have you ever opened your phone just to check one message, and then suddenly, 20 minutes later, you realize you're still scrolling? Maybe you didn't even notice how much time passed. If this has happened to you, you're not alone. Millions of people around the world experience the same thing every day. To understand why this happens, we need to talk about dopamine. Dopamine is a chemical in your brain. It is often called the feel-good chemical, but this is not completely accurate. Dopamine is not only about pleasure. It is more about motivation and reward. It helps your brain decide what is important and what is worth your time and energy. When you do something enjoyable, like eating your favorite food, winning a game, or receiving a kind message from a friend, your brain releases dopamine. This makes you feel good and encourages you to repeat that behavior in the future. From an evolutionary point of view, this system helped humans survive. It motivated our ancestors to find food, build relationships, and explore their environment. Now, let's connect this to modern technology. App developers understand very well how dopamine works. Many companies hire psychologists and behavior scientists to design apps that keep users engaged for as long as possible. Their goal is simple: the more time you spend on their app, the more money they can make through ads, subscriptions, or data collection. This is where the idea of the dopamine economy comes in. In the past, companies competed for your money. Today, they also compete for your attention. Your attention has become a valuable resource, and apps are designed to capture and hold it. Every notification, every like, every new video recommendation is part of this system. Let's talk about one of the most powerful tools apps use: variable rewards. This means that you don't get the same reward every time. Sometimes you open your social media app and see something very interesting or exciting. Other times, you see nothing special. This unpredictability is very important. It is the same principle used in slot machines in casinos. You don't win every time, but you keep playing because you might win the next time. When you refresh your feed, you are basically pulling a digital lever, just like in a slot machine. Your brain releases dopamine not only when you see something you like, but also when you expect that something good might appear. This anticipation is extremely powerful. It keeps you checking your phone again and again, even when you know there is probably nothing new. Another important feature is notifications. Think about the sound or vibration your phone makes when you receive a message or a like. These small signals interrupt whatever you are doing and bring your attention back to the app. Over time, your brain learns to associate that sound with a possible reward. This is why it can be so difficult to ignore notifications, even when you are busy or trying to focus. Social media apps also use something called social validation. Humans are social creatures. We care about what others think of us. When you post a photo and receive likes or comments, your brain sees this as social approval. This again releases dopamine and makes you feel accepted and valued. Because of this, many people start checking their posts again and again to see how many likes they have received. The design of apps also plays a big role. For example, infinite scrolling is a feature where new content keeps loading as you scroll down. There is no natural stopping point. In the past, when you read a magazine or a newspaper, you would reach the end of a page or an article. This gave your brain a clear signal that it might be time to stop. But with infinite scrolling, that signal disappears. You can continue for hours without realizing it. Autoplay is another example. When you finish watching a video, the the next one starts automatically after a few seconds. This removes the moment where you would normally make a decision: do I want to watch another video or not? Instead, the app makes the decision for you. It sounds like a small detail, but it has a big effect on how long people stay on these platforms. So why do companies invest so much time and money into making apps addictive? The answer is simple: attention equals profit. Most popular apps are free to use. You are not paying with money, but you are paying with your time and your data. The longer you stay on the app, the more ads you see, and the more information the company can collect about your habits, interests, and behavior. This business model has created what many experts call the attention economy. Companies compete to design the most engaging, most habit-forming products. They run experiments, test different colors, different sounds, different button shapes, all to discover what keeps users online longer. From a business perspective, this is very effective. From a personal well-being perspective, it can be problematic. Let's talk about the effects this can have on our lives. Spending a lot of time on addictive apps can affect your productivity. You may find it harder to focus on work or study because your brain is used to short, fast, and exciting content. Reading a long article or concentrating on a difficult task may start to feel boring in comparison. It can also affect your mental health. Constant comparison with others on social media can lead to feelings of insecurity or anxiety. You often see only the best moments of other people's lives, their vacations, achievements, and happy experiences. It is easy to forget that these images are carefully selected and edited. Real life is more complex than what we see online. Sleep is another area that can suffer. Many people use their phones late at night, scrolling through social media or watching videos in bed. The bright light from screens and the mental stimulation from constant new content can make it harder to fall asleep. Poor sleep then affects your mood, concentration, and overall health the next day. At this point, you might be thinking, if apps are designed this way, does that mean we have no control? The good news is that we do have control, but we need to be aware of what is happening. The first step is understanding that these platforms are not neutral. They are carefully designed systems with specific goals. One simple strategy is to turn off non-essential notifications. Do you really need to know immediately when someone likes your photo or when a shopping app has a new sale? By reducing the number of notifications, you reduce the number of times your attention is pulled away from what you are doing. Another helpful habit is to create small barriers between you and the apps. For example, you can move social media apps off your home screen so you don't see them every time you unlock your phone. You can also log out after using them, so you need to enter your password each time you want to check them. These small extra steps give your brain a moment to think, do I really want to open this app right now? Setting time limits is also a powerful tool. Many smartphones now have built-in features that show you how much time you spend on each app and allow you to set daily limits. When you see that you've spent 2 or 3 hours on social media in one day, it can be a surprising and eye-opening experience. It's also useful to replace passive scrolling with more intentional activities. Instead of opening an app automatically when you feel bored, you could read a few pages of a book, go for a short walk, or send a message to a friend to have a real conversation. The goal is not to remove technology completely from your life, but to use it in a way that supports your goals and well-being. Let's also talk about the responsibility of tech companies. In recent years, there has been more public discussion about ethical design. Some former employees of large tech companies have spoken out about how these systems are built and how they can affect users, especially young people. There are now movements that encourage companies to design technology that respects users' time and mental health. Some apps have started to introduce features like reminders that tell you to take a break after you have been scrolling for a long time. Others offer options to hide like counts or to limit certain types of content. These are small steps, but they show that change is possible when users demand it. However, it is important to remember that these companies still have strong financial reasons to keep you engaged. This means that, in many cases, the responsibility to manage your time and attention will remain with you. Understanding the psychology behind these apps gives you an advantage. You are no longer just reacting automatically, you are making more conscious choices. There is also an interesting cultural change happening. In the past, being busy and constantly connected was often seen as a sign of importance and productivity. Today, more people are starting to value digital balance. Terms like digital detox and screen-free time are becoming more common. People are realizing that protecting their attention is an important part of protecting their mental health. Let's imagine a simple situation. You wake up in the morning and the first thing you do is reach for your phone. You check messages, social media, news, and emails, all before you even get out of bed. By the time you start your day, your brain is already full of information, emotions, and distractions. Now imagine a different version of this morning. You wake up, stretch, maybe drink a glass of water, and take a few minutes to think about what you want to do that day before checking your phone. This small change can create a calmer and more focused start to your day. The same idea applies to other moments, like meals or time with friends. Many people now eat while scrolling through their phones or sit together, but each person is looking at their own screen. Being aware of these habits allows you to make different choices, like putting your phone away during dinner or when you are having an important conversation. Before we finish, let's quickly review the key ideas from today's episode. Dopamine is a chemical in the brain that is connected to motivation and reward. Apps use features like variable rewards, notifications, infinite scrolling, and autoplay to keep you engaged and to encourage you to come back again and again. This system is part of what we call the dopamine economy or attention economy, where your time and focus are valuable resources. While these apps are designed to be addictive, you are not powerless. By turning off unnecessary notifications, setting time limits, creating small barriers, and being more intentional about how you use your phone, you can reduce their influence on your daily life. Technology is not the enemy. Apps can help us stay in touch with friends, learn new skills, and enjoy entertainment. The problem begins when we lose control over how much time and attention we give them. The goal is balance, not complete rejection. Thank you for spending this time with me today and for choosing to learn English while exploring important topics about modern life. If you found this episode useful, you might want to listen to it again and pay attention to new vocabulary and expressions related to psychology, technology, and daily habits. That's all for today's episode of our English Learning Podcast. Take care of your attention, and I'll see you in the next episode.